Now data types, as the name suggests, just try to break the word down, right? Data type, which means type of data. So let's say this 8, this is a number, right? So its data, the type of data is a number. For a sentence which we wrote earlier, the type of data was string. So let me quickly show you what these different data types are and how to write them. So we have to first define what type of data type they are. So first write string, because we will be writing a string. And let's say the name of the variable that I'll be using is name equals to, and I will enter my name Shash. Now what is a variable? Variable is basically something that you can assign a value to. Okay, so you can assign value to this variable, and the value should be a string because we have written string here, and the value, as you can see, is Shash. Now you might notice this blue curvy lines coming under your name. Now why is that? So to look at that, we can again go to problems, and you can see here that it is saying that the value of local variable name isn't used. Try removing value. So what is happening is, if you guys are familiar with memory allocation, or maybe you are not, so let me quickly explain you that. Whenever this main command runs, it takes up some space in the RAM, okay? And it is basically telling us to not define this variable until and unless it is being used in the program. As you can see that I haven't used anywhere this variable name, okay? The moment, let's say, the moment I write here name, those blue lines will go away. So what this basically means is that now I'm utilizing it in my program, right? So if I write another, for a number, you write integer. A number is basically called an integer, and here you can give positive, negative values. So for integer, I will say, let's say age, and I am 69 years old. Okay, so you can see again that the blue curvy lines are coming, and this is because I haven't utilized age anywhere. Now if I write print age again, so you can see that the curvy lines go away. And let me just quickly save them and go here, press the up arrow key, enter, and you can see that Shash is also printed and 69 is also printed. Okay, so you can basically see what's going on here. Now let's see what other data types are. Now, okay, what if I want to use a decimal value? Decimal means what if I am 69.5 years old? Now you will see that it is showing me an error. Now let's see what the error is. So here you can see a value of type double can't be assigned to a variable of type int. So double is basically, int is a number and double is a decimal number. So you cannot give an integer a decimal value. So the data type is double for a decimal value. So let's say my height is 164.5 centimeters. Okay, so here you can see that the moment I wrote double, I can now assign it decimal values. Now there are a lot of other data types as well, and another data type is bool, and bool is basically really simple. Boy equals to true. This statement here means that boy is true, which means that I am a boy. Okay, if I wrote here false, this means that I am not a boy. I might be a girl or any non-binary gender. Okay, so bool, we will be using bool in the next video when we do loop. So now finally, and by the way, I hope that you understand why these blue lines are coming, because these two variables are taking unnecessary space. Remove them. But right now, for the sake of as you can see that the code is really small, you really don't really have to remove anything for now. But when your code is like, let's say 1000 lines or multiple files, in that case you want your code to be efficient and clean. So in that case, you usually remove these variables, and VS Code and Dart do a really good job of letting us know which variables are not being used. Now there is one last data type which is important for us, and that is var. So let's say var roll number equals to hello. Let's say 12123 hello. Okay, so basically what var is that we don't have to define. See, let's say for a roll number, you don't really know what the value is going to be. So I can either write strings here, or I can directly write an integer, let's say 848, or I can also write 4. Okay, or I can write true value. So you can use var whenever you are not sure of what the value is going to be, right? Let's say you want the user to print something and you are not really sure what the value will be. So in that case, you use var. Right now I will give it a string value. Now there are some other data types as well, such as list. Okay, a list is basically a collection of data. So let me quickly give you an example of a list as well, and then we will move on to printing and string interpolation. Whoa, that was a scary word, I know, right? But don't worry, the concept is actually really easy, like really easy. Okay, so let's quickly look at what lists are. So list is basically collection of data, and let's say I have info. Okay, and you need to end it with semicolon, and you can add here in list, you can add a string. Each element needs to be separated by a comma, by the way. Then I can also write here a number in the list. I can define a double value. I can define a boolean value, and I can also define another list inside. So that is pretty cool, right? So a false is also a boolean value. Boolean has two values, true or false. Okay, and I can also then again write anything inside. So this is basically a list. Now let's say that right now when we are printing, let's remove this print age function, and let's quickly print this again. What it is printing? It's printing only Shash. Now what if I want to print my name is Shash, right? Because just writing Shash, it does not give us a clear explanation as to what this Shash is. So to do that, what we will do is we will use this double quotes again, and we will write my name is and $name. So what basically happened here, let's quickly print this and you will automatically know what happened. Okay, my name is Shash. You can see that the name variable, when I click on it, it highlights here. This shows that they both are same. And you can see that this variable can be written inside a double quote by using this $sign. This is basically called string interpolation, nothing much. If by chance you are using something which includes more than one variable, let's say I want to check the length of this name. Right now what I can do is print name dot, and the moment you add dot, you see all these different functions. You can basically use them and experiment with them on your own. I won't be covering these functions right now. So when I print name dot length, it's showing me 5. Now why 5? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can see that there are 5 characters, and it is showing me name dot length here. Now what if I want to print this here only, in the statement only? So if I write dot length, len, okay, the spelling was wrong. Now you can see that the length is not being highlighted, but here length is also being highlighted. This is because it is taking this value dot length as a string itself, like the rest of the sentence. We want to be able to use this as a variable, right? So for that, what you can do is just open curly braces both sides after the $sign. Now it will take it as 1. Okay, so name dot length. Now if I print this and let's quickly print these, and you can say that my name is 5 is being printed, what we were doing here. Now to, let's say if you want to remove some piece of code that you might want to use it in the future, or if you just want to write basic documentation, you can just use /. This basically unhighlights the code, and this basically tells Dart that you don't have to consider this line or run this line. Now if I run this again, you can see that only my name is 5 is being printed, even though both the lines are here. This is because this is commented out and the Dart is ignoring it now. You also use these slashes to write documentation. So because for big files and big projects, you need to explain other developers as well what is going on there so that they can help you. So right now I can just write here that my name is being printed. So I can basically write anything with these double slashes. Okay, now if I run this again, you can see that only my name is 5 is being printed, nothing else. So this was string interpolation. Now finally, let's look at indexing. This is the last concept in this video, so it will be really quick. I know that this must be a little overwhelming for you guys, but don't worry, it's actually pretty easy. You just need to practice it a little more, or look at the entire video once again and you will be absolutely fine. Okay, so let me quickly remove all of these. Okay, let's keep one. Okay, now what if I want to, from the name, I want to print only A. Okay, there are weird people out there and they want different things. So don't judge me. But what if I just want to print A from that name? To do that, I can just write name and 2. Now you ask, why did I write 2? So this is because each element, whether it's a string, a list or anything, has an indexing. Okay. Now for S, the index is 0. For H, the index is 1. For A, the index is 2. For S, again, the index is 3. And H, again, it is 4. This is how basically each element is indexed. Their location is defined this way. Okay. So S has 0 index, H has 1 index, A has 2 index. Now if I save this file, now you can see the moment I saved, the extra spaces were eliminated. This is because Dart removes extra storage that is being taken up. Okay, so you don't have to worry about this. Just remember that S has 0, H has 1. Okay, what the heck did I do now? Control Z, Control save. Okay, S has 0, H has 1, A has 2 and so on. So if I now, this file is saved and if I print name 2, it should give us A. Now you can see that the A was printed. So this is a success. A small leap for mankind. Okay, I forgot the quote. So anyways, you guys can mention that down below. Anyways, now what if for the list, let's try this for the list. Okay, so let me quickly change here info. Now similarly to strings, for each element of list has an index. So the first element, you can see this gibberish, has an index of 0. Okay, so if I write 0 here and I quickly print this, you can see that the first element was printed. Now what if I want to print the third element? So this will be 0, 1, 2. You can see that it index is not 3 but 2 because the indexing is starting from 0. So now you can see that the third element was printed. Now what if I want to print this fifth element? Now the fifth element will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it was on the fourth index. Okay, so I will save this file, quickly run it, and you can see that this list was printed again. Now you might ask that how to print these separate values in the list. Now I won't be going into too much detail on how to do that, but that is your homework. Learn how to do that. Okay, make effort from your side. I am not a motivational speaker, don't worry. Anyways, so this first video was completed with these concepts. Make sure that you revise all of the concepts because these were really easy concepts. If you have never tried coding, this might be a bit confusing for you, but if you have tried coding, I know what you were thinking, that why the heck am I teaching this? So don't worry guys, just practice it and you will be fine. Now let's jump to the next topic, which are loops. Yep, let's go.